This episode of the Nerf Herder Council is brought to you by Audible. Visit audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. Warning: the following podcast contains irreverent humor, exceptionally nerdy opinions, potential cursing, and plenty of love for the prequels. If any of the preceding offends you, please turn off this podcast immediately, and may the Force be with you.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder!
You can't use that word! Only we can use that word!
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
You're tuned in to the Nerf Herder Council, your source for Star Wars opinion, conversation, and debate. Featuring your hosts, JT. Oh, dude, are you giving out finger sandwiches? No, this is part of my costume. I'm Porkins. Get your hand off my roast beef and Swiss, you ass. AJ.
Well, if you don't remember something you already saw, that does not count as a spoiler. That counts as you not paying attention.
Steve.
Every night, Sabine should just put a different set of googly eyes on that thing. Just get those little plastic googly eyes so when he turns, they're going all over the place.
On this episode of the Nerf Herder Council, we discuss all things Solo, the new trailer, the new Falcon, and whether or not the Falcon turned into the way we know it because Han has a drinking problem. This is the Nerf Herder Council. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. I am your host, JT, back in their usual spots, AJ and Steve. And tonight will be a very, very difficult episode because Steve will be going on vacation in a few days, and we made a rule: no edits. That way, Steve doesn't have any production work to do, so he can just worry about jumping on a plane at 6:30 in the morning on Saturday and heading to the House of Mouse.
Exactly. That, and I mean, we are recording on Valentine's Day, so it's all spreading love and everything. So instead of being all negative and making stupid jokes that I'm not going to say, because I'm already going to watch myself right off the bat.
You're being censored as well.
Yep. I'm trying. I used to work in real radio, so you'd think I could pull this off. We'll see.
I just have to remember. So I think I'll be okay. So
we've done it like once or so in 2 years where we've had zero edits.
It was 2 shows ago.
I was saying it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was like 2 shows ago. And then the show after that, the one with Darth Vader, had the most. So karma bit us right in the ass.
We should maybe brief our guests before they come on about the rules of the show. And
we don't really have that rule, though. It was just,
we do watch our language a little bit.
Yeah. I just never want to tell someone, censor yourself, because then they might not say something awesome.
Yeah.
So
gotta let them be themselves. You know,
you never know.
Yeah. At least when we get other podcasters on, they actually ask us. They're like, hey, just can I swear on your show or not? We're like, yeah, we're kind of lazy, so no.
It's one. Well, I've never told anybody that.
Well, I've never seen that damn movie. Oops, oh God, am I allowed to say that?
Crap.
Yes, you're fine.
Fiddlesticks.
Oh, gee willikers.
Edit. Thanks, AJ.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Doggone it.
God, we couldn't even make it 2 minutes.
Close up shop. So
start over again.
So before we started recording, we'll just hit on something brief here. Apparently, the final numbers are in for The Last Jedi. And apparently it was a massive failure, like all the haters said. It only made $1.3 billion. God, what a pile of crap.
Well, I mean, compare it to The Force Awakens. It's clearly a dying franchise.
What a dud.
It very much is a dying franchise. So what do you guys think? Marvel, or should we just go Star Trek? Like, what should we do with this podcast thing? Or are we just going to sell this crap?
I tried the Star Trek thing. Nah.
I mean, we could talk about, let's see, what's in the basement here? Custom frames for posters. We could do podcasting on custom framing.
We could.
We could do an episode per Blink 182 poster that you have. That gives us at least 2 years of material.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Right.
I may have a problem, guys.
What? You're running out of wall space?
Well, yes, actually. That, and add to the fact that I'm purposely looking for specific size posters at this point to fit the empty spots of the wall.
Pretty soon you're going to be like moving the wall outlet. You're going to do like advanced electrical work just to give yourself more real estate.
Yeah.
Like, dude, why is your outlet in the ceiling? I had to go somewhere.
He'll start offering us his Blu-ray collection. Like, dude, you want to buy this? You want to buy that?
Oh, yeah. The DVD racks are about to be gone down here. And as you look behind you, JT, I already cleared that wall out. There's enough room for like 3 posters there.
There it is.
I could get rid of the guitars behind me. They aren't getting any use anymore. There's like 30 more posters I could throw back here.
Well, at least one guitar will be purchased immediately. So you got that going for you. So at least it's better than my man cave. I was all excited because I have a man cave now, kind of a thing. And I put all the crap up there. We moved last weekend or 2 weekends ago, whatever it was. And now that everything's put away on the main level and it looks all nice, I go upstairs and the man cave looks like an abject freaking disaster. So I'm like disgusted by my own area. And it sucks.
That's how this house was when we moved in, because this is the bigger area of the basement. And when we moved, everything was coming down here and I was just throwing it in the open area. And then I came down, just like you said, got completely disgusted by it, just moved everything to the other side of the basement, went, I'm done down here.
Yeah.
This is my space now.
Yep. See, I'm gonna cover the walls with everything I possibly can. And it turns out I got a lot of crap to cover the walls with. So
see, that's cool though.
I also have a bass amp up there now, so I'm playing bass again, and it's like prop right next to my television and my PS4. So basically, if I want to, watch YouTube videos and learn bass lines or something, I could do that. I can, it's really cool. It just looks like hell. So
yeah, I have a really nice guitar amp on the floor right to my right-hand side, and
would that be? I'm sorry, is that underneath, behind the Voltron blanket?
Yeah, that thing's literally been used like twice since I bought it.
Oh, wow. There's an amp under there. Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
I did not even notice that. Way to go, man.
Specifically bought that for a concert that I was on stage with you guys because I blew up my other amp while practicing for that. Went, oh crap, I gotta go buy another one. Bought it. And here she sits in all her glory, covered by a sheet that's been there for like 2 years.
Currently, it's only amplifying the height of the trivia book that I brought over a year ago.
Nice. So
it's useful.
So 24 hours from now, AJ and I will be in the middle of watching Galactic Empire live, which will be awesome. So that'll be fun. Show again is tomorrow night. So we've been anxiously awaiting that.
Anybody else who wants to go? Too late. You've already missed it by listening to this podcast.
Yeah. Right. So
yeah, you guys
that's
should
what's going on in our universe.
You guys should maybe post pictures or something. Get a little social media traction.
We probably will.
Speaking of which, I should do that on vacation when I go to the Star Wars launch bay and
you have to
do the BB-8 and Chewbacca and Kylo Ren meet and greets and all that stuff.
You have to tweet those out.
Yeah,
we got so much attention when we were tweeting stuff from Celebration. So, well, at least for us anyway.
Should we keep an eye on the police blotters down there to see if you've hopped the wall into Galaxy's Edge?
Did you
maybe?
Did you see they released more details on that? By the way.
I did. I really wasn't basically everything that they announced this week at D23 out in Japan was stuff I knew already. So it was just kind of like, meh, like I didn't really care, but I could see how if people don't follow all kinds of crazy Disney blogs like me, that you'd be like, oh, wow, that's pretty sweet that they're doing that. So
the detail that was really cool to me was the fact that they said that obviously Galaxy's Edge is going to be like really, really interactive, but they said apparently the hotel is going to be way more interactive than that. Like you walk in and you're like 24/7.
Yeah, it's 24/7 here. You guys, you have the ability to dress the part. They'll give you like a costume basically to rock while you're in the resort if you want it.
Yeah. Right.
That's cool, but at the same time, if the hotel's that awesome, I'm not going to want to go out into the park. I'm just going to walk around the hotel all day.
No.
You don't want to just like live in character in the resort?
Let me remind you that the main attraction of Galaxy's Edge is flying the Millennium freaking Falcon. So, no, I don't want to spend all my time in the hotel, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stow away on the Falcon, and they're not going to know.
That's going to be in the parks, so good luck with that one.
Well, I will sleep on the Falcon, and no one will know.
You're just going to be like the porgs, make a nest in the hallway,
basically. But see, I know where Han, like, his smuggling compartments are. So it's a little known fact. They do too. No, they don't. It's a secret. It's a secret that only those of us hardcore fans know. But yeah, I'm going to stow away on the Millennium Falcon.
As a complete Disney Parks nerd, as cool as the resort thing is going to be, the price that the thing is going to carry, I am more than okay staying at the cheapest resort Disney has to offer and just hanging out at Galaxy's Edge all day. I am more than fine with that.
Not me.
If I had the money, without a doubt. But I'm more than okay with that. Like, we could go at the same time. You could send me a crap ton of pictures. I almost cussed. You could send me a crap ton of pictures, and we'll meet up in the park somewhere. I'm more than okay staying at the resort that's going to cost me $89 a night than doing that.
As soon as that thing was announced, I looked at my wife and I said, "Well, you can kiss 10 grand goodbye." And I was serious. And if she ever disagrees, we're like, fine, I'm going by myself. It is one of those non-negotiable things.
If it's anything like at least in Florida, their most popular or their most expensive resort is the Grand Floridian. Usually around peak time, that thing will cost you about $1,000 a night. So if at peak time,
what does that translate to in Republic credits?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I would assume because of the show that you're getting 24/7, that thing is probably going to be the most expensive resort, if not top 2 or 3. So I would guess anywhere probably $600-700 to $1,000 a night, depending what time of year you go.
Well, they said the initial rumor was like $1,500 a person for like 3 days.
Okay, so they're gonna. All right, so yeah,
you're kind of close.
Yeah, if they do divide it,
they price it.
Yeah, if they do divide it up like that, yeah, because usually they will say that. But if you just go right on the Disney website, they're like, Grand Floridian's $846 a night right now, and it's like, holy crap, okay.
Hey, who's spending that? I mean, at least with this interactive hotel, like you're in Star Wars, you're like in the movies basically. You are a character in Star Wars. You're living it. Like, all day, every day. But if you're just like there because, hey, Mickey Mouse is,
I've actually had this conversation with people through like Disney Twitter and stuff like that, which you guys think Star Wars, like social media, is horrible with the idiots that are out there and stuff. God, we're on like the outskirts of Disney Twitter and social media. This is the most volatile, like, crap show of people.
So the Twitter following
is so
for the
much
happiest
worse.
place on earth.
So much
not their
worse.
social media, apparently.
So much worse than Star Wars fans, dude. I'm like, dude, this is the most god awful thing like I've ever like been a part of in my life, dude. Like, you people are horrible, man.
Well, my take. Social media ruins everything, so that does not surprise me at all. People are just monstrous douchebags.
Who can complain the loudest? That's the game.
Ugh. It really is. I mean, and to answer your question on that, a lot of these resorts and stuff are literally just status symbols for people. Like, it literally is that bad. It really just shows off. Hey, you're trash. You're basically white trash because you're staying at an all-star resort for $90 a night. I'm at the Grand Floridian. Let me turn my nose up.
Yeah. But I've never understood the point. I mean, like, the only time that I will like willingly spend a bunch of money on a hotel room is pretty much Celebration, because we've learned, having done it 4 times now, that if you're staying at the one that's basically attached to the convention center, it saves you parking, it saves you time. I mean, it's actually,
footwear.
Yeah, it's really convenient. So I don't mind paying for that because I want to get more Star Wars.
Don't mind paying for convenience at all, dude. Like that's why I stay at Disney resorts when I go down, because it's full of convenience with the meal plan and free transportation and stuff. Like it's so worth everything that you're spending on it.
I mean, when I go to Chicago, because that's the other place that I like to quote unquote vacation. I basically go for a weekend, but like I don't go out of town there. And I mean, you look at even hotels.com, you're looking at $350, $450 a night for a lot of places. I'll get the $90 a night place. I don't care. I'm not there to chill in the hotel room and pretend I'm Richie Rich. I want to go eat deep dish pizza and Al's Italian beef and Fogo de Chao and then go drink and then crash in the hotel room. I don't give a crap.
If you wanted to book a random week at the Grand Floridian for the middle of July right now, you could be looking at $2,300 a night to stay.
Shut up. That's
middle of July?
Middle of July this year for a 2-bedroom club level thing, but just a standard room is still going to set you back $700 a night. That's their trash room. Like
what is the point?
That's literally the exact same room that I'm spending like $100 on to go down at an all-star resort this week.
Yeah, what did your room cost you?
Like $118 a night.
Nice. So you're off-site?
No, all-star movies. So we're still on the grounds at Disney and still get the meal plan, the free transportation, all that. It's just the all-star resorts are the cheapest things you can get. They're in the value resort thing. And I said when I went down in 2012, my brother and his girlfriend at the time were staying at one of the higher end ones that are only for like the Disney Vacation Club members and stuff. And I went and checked out their room that they were paying like $700 a night for or something. Same trash I was in, except for the fact that they had like a coffee maker in their room. And
a Disney coffee maker is $350 a night.
And they could see like a lake from their room compared to the courtyard and the buses I see from mine. I'm like, you idiots spent way too much money
like
on
who
this.
gives a damn? Like what? I don't. Oh well, it's not my thing. One thing you have to do, and then we'll get to tonight's topic. You have to go eat at the Indiana Jones bar.
Totally got a plan of that actually already.
Yes.
It's just a matter of if I get to pull it off, because we're not going to spend that much time at Disney Springs, but I'm really trying to knock that one out.
If you do it, you got to send me pictures, because I did not get there when we were at Celebration. So
same week down there, Value Resort, $97 a night.
Nice.
Okay,
so
I'm done.
So you could do 2,300 or 97.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we could both be standing in line for an hour for the same Avatar ride right behind each other in the middle of the park.
Unbelievable. And the funny thing is, people like they'll pay that without even realizing that, like, when you save $2,100 a night, that means you can just go basically like take a dump and wipe your ass with $20 bills. It's like you can spend anything you want when you got an extra $2,100 a night.
You're saving a vacation's worth of money per night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I had that much money, I would just go, let's go to the Value Resort anyways. We'll pocket the rest of this crap.
So
we'll go on another vacation next week.
So if you did save $2,100 a night, would you actually take a dump and wipe your butt with fives just because you could?
Paper cuts. Nope.
It's for some reason, that's always the thing I think of, like, because
what you could do, you could go rock star and destroy the hotel room and leave like $2,000 on the counter and just be like, here you go, guys.
Yeah. I don't know why I was it's like, I've heard people mention like, man, I'm just going to wipe my butt with hundreds. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't go that far. But do people actually, if you're used to living like normal people like us and eventually just have like a ton of money, like I just wonder if people actually have that thought. Like, just because you can, you're going to waste money in the stupidest way possible because you've never been able to before.
It would be like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it really would.
I do believe AJ paper cuts, so I don't really want to go that far. But maybe set a $5 bill on fire one day or something, just cause. Right. But no, not going to risk paper cuts. Around the balloon knot back there.
There's not really a good tooth on that anyway. You ever had to blow your nose and had nothing but like notebook paper on you in like high school?
Oh, that's a good point.
It just doesn't work. Yeah,
that's a good tooth. I've never. That actually sounds painful saying it like that. Like, you're going to cause some damage if you do it the wrong way. Ooh. All right. Well, anyways.
So, Star Wars, right?
Yeah. No way to segue from that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the recent Star Wars news was the release, finally, of the full trailer for Solo, A Star Wars Story. Is that what they're officially calling it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
That was getting scary for a minute there too, because I was like, dude, generally when they don't release trailers and they don't let people see things, it's because it's a pile of dog crap and they don't want any bad publicity. So I was getting a little worried there that they weren't standing behind the product.
Yeah. So what are your guys' initial impressions? Mine on a quick take, I think the tone of it, which I can't really buy into this because we learned from the trailers for The Last Jedi, it looked like it was going to be super dark and evil and it really wasn't. So the tone of the trailer could be totally different, obviously from the movie itself. But if it stays kind of criminal and underworld-y the way it looks from the trailer, the movie itself and the characters and everything, they look really cool. It looks really interesting, and I like that a lot. Man, when they cast Alden Ehrenreich, I was like, he doesn't look like Han Solo to me. And in the trailer, he's not acting like Han Solo to me. And I know I have to take it with a grain of salt because they're probably going to, show how him at an early age is not going to be what you see, from the original trilogy in Episode 7. So he's, going to be much more, cocky and world weary and all that stuff later than he is as, young Han Solo. But still, everyone's all about that line. Oh, see, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. And my immediate reaction was, that's not how Han Solo talks. So I was pissed off right away. I'm definitely going to give it a chance because, I also was the one that was not looking forward to Rogue One. And then that turned out to be amazing. So, I'm just going to wait for the movie. But my initial impressions are, it looks like a really cool looking movie, but I'm just afraid that Alden Ehrenreich is going to totally take me out of it by not being Han Solo-ish. So why are you laughing at me? What did I do?
Well, to peel back the curtain for the audience, I actually did write up show notes tonight, had a nice little breakdown of all the stuff we could talk about. I could just toss that right out the window because you hit 75% of it right there.
That's why I don't take notes.
And our opinions were supposed to be point based and maybe
well, we're gonna wrap things up for tonight.
Really.
Yeah. We're gonna close up shop.
Welcome to the 12 Parsecs podcast.
We're stepping on Tim's feet now. So, well, okay.
Seriously, I think he might have taken longer to talk about it than you just did.
Yeah.
I'll let AJ, because he'll probably go a little more in depth than me. My very initial thought is I'm apparently a really old crotchety man in my head that hates change. And I'm not feeling what it looks like because it's not Harrison Ford and all that.
Okay.
It's just I can't see this dude as Han Solo because of the trailer. It's just
that's how I felt.
Like you said, gonna see it, not crapping on it, not hating on it. It's just my initial thought is I looked at it and went, that's not Han Solo. And I couldn't stop focusing on that to really pay attention to the trailer as much as I probably should have, honestly. But I can't get past seeing somebody else as Han Solo right off the top of my head right now. So it's weird.
I'm forcing myself out of that mindset because
that's why Rogue One was fine, because it was all people we never saw before. Everything was cool. You could sit through it. It was all fine. But now that you're talking Lando, Han Solo, you're introducing people we know and going, this is just younger versions of them. It's cool. And it's not like the prequels either, because actually, I can't even say that about the prequels. I mean, because maybe is it because we knew it was Anakin starting from the little squirt going to.
Well, you knew he was going to be kind of an a-hole. And it's like when you see characters like Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's a Jedi. So it's not like you're going to see a different version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Jedi are supposed to be preeminent good guys.
All right.
So it's not like you're going to see Obi-Wan Kenobi out graffitiing buildings and stuff, and then all of a sudden he changes into a good guy,
I need to see more. There needs to be another trailer before May or something. I got to get something that makes me go, okay, I can see this now. But
at the rate they put this trailer out, you're gonna get the second final trailer on Wednesday. We're gonna go see the movie on Thursday.
The last trailer comes out a month after the movie.
All right. See, it's funny you mentioned the characters not feeling the same way. I have to admit, the very little preliminary stuff I've read.
Even Chewie looked weird.
Well, I have to have younger Chewie, you know.
But yeah, it was really weird, and that's honestly that's where my whole thought ends on this. So like I could pretty much not be on the podcast the rest of the night because
right.
like that's my only thought is it's something's weird about Han Solo right now to me. So it's just
I'm forcing myself out of that because it's kind of like, okay, it's not going to feel like Han Solo right off the bat, if at all, because you have like 30, 40 years of history of Han Solo as Harrison Ford. So it's going to be so different. But I did have one reaction where I was like, that's so fake when they showed Lando and he's got like a part. And I was like, Lando doesn't have a part in his fro. But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, kind of in a weird way, I guess so. Like his hair's like that. And I went, you got to stop that. It's not like all of a sudden, like 1980 Harrison Ford and Billy D. Williams are going to walk out on screen and do a new movie looking exactly the same. Like, you know,
why didn't they just CGI the damn thing like they did with Leia?
I was just about to say that. I was just about like de-age them. Like they did with like Jeff Bridges and Tron Legacy and stuff.
Yeah.
Just do the de-aging. That would have been awesome. But
I could have saw that a lot better, honestly.
all right.
Well, unless you can de-age Harrison Ford's voice too, you're really not going to get anything like you need.
That's okay. Make him a smoker before. And
it's all the damn Kessel spice.
Exactly. He was a spice head, and then when it messes up your voice, and then when he got clean, that's when his voice cleaned up for the original trilogy. So, but yeah, I'm just it's almost like I've said, like when I went into the prequels, episode 1 with lowered expectations because I figured it would never live up to the previous movie. So I just wanted to see a good, fun, interesting story. Like I'm kind of doing that with Solo, and more specifically the character, because it's just not going for me. Being the ultimate Han Solo fan, it's just not going to be Harrison Ford. So I have to be like, all right, well, just let him tell the backstory and hope the rest of the movie around it is really cool looking and fun. And, you know, so what were your impressions, AJ?
I saw a new Star Wars. It looked really cool. That's good enough for me right now. It's the first look we've had.
All right. Well, now you can actually be off the podcast, and me and Steve will continue to talk.
I know, you guys are like going super in depth on this. Like, it's first impression. It's the first 90 seconds or less of footage we've seen of the entire thing. And
I don't care. It's still not the right Han Solo. It don't look right. Damn it.
That's yeah. If it's only the 90 seconds of footage, and you're like, why are you guys going into it so much? Why did you suggest we turn a whole podcast episode into it? AJ's like, let's talk about the Solo movie, and then we get on the air. There's nothing to talk about.
All right, screw Solo. So how about Rebels? Damn it, let's talk about Rebels. Yeah. What do you got on that, AJ? It's a great show.
We'll be able to talk about that after next week.
Well, I had talking points, but no one wanted to use them. So
well, go ahead and use
or they just wanted to use them all at once.
Well, go ahead and use your talking points then. What do you think about Lando having a part in his fro?
They really only work if we're all looking at them, you see.
I'm not reading crap. Well, I'm going to actually, because there some interesting stuff came out today. So, but
look, I saw a trailer for a Star Wars movie. It looked like Star Wars right down to the third movie in a row with a giant tentacle monster for some reason.
Yeah, they seem to like those lately, don't they?
That's apparently the only kind of monster you can invent these days, I guess.
You can only have big, round, giant weapons for the bad guys. The ultimate space creature that's going to kill you in a minor battle has many tentacles, and there's 80,428 different versions of stormtroopers.
Right.
Now we have pimp troopers.
Right. They've hit the entire checklist. It's great. Perfect.
So for anybody who hasn't seen the new range trooper,
Dolomite Trooper.
Yes. Dude, those boots, AJ, you nailed it. The 501st is going to be pissed about those.
They're literally made of metal. Like they look like the feet on the exosuit from Aliens.
I just wonder if that's because like they are called range troopers. Maybe it's like so they can move quickly over like crappy terrain, and it's like they're kind of like machines in and of themselves. I don't know. I don't know what else it would be.
Marching down the hallway sounding like RoboCop the entire time.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know. I mean, the helmets look cool, but yeah, they got these damn furry lined jackets or something. And it's like I was texting you guys today, like dynamite. Like it looks like a 70s pimp coat or something. Like, what are they putting coats on stormtroopers for now? The hell's the armor for? Like what?
Well, that's obviously to defend the blasters.
Yeah, the armor doesn't work, so we're gonna try a coat. Next thing you know, in the next movie, whatever the next anthology movie is gonna be, it's gonna have like a kind of like a tropical environment with like a rainforest, and the stormtroopers are gonna come out with ponchos. So they like the little $5 Walmart
The
ponchos.
rain troopers.
Exactly.
They're going to show them on Hoth, and they're going to have Wampa troopers there. They're just
in Wampa suits.
Yeah, just full Wampa suits, just covered head to toe in fur, except for a stormtrooper helmet.
See, that's going to be the next evolution of stormtroopers. They're going to have friggin' clothes. It's going to look dumber than hell. They'll revisit Scarif and they'll have like jam shorts and like, you know, goofy like tourist t-shirts.
Watch, we'll probably get there at some point because that's one of the things I had in my show notes.
Hey, in our defense, your first impressions of the trailer is the 7th bullet point down. So.
Yeah. What was the first note? It has Han Solo in it.
Yeah.
It actually is. It's Solo. First word on there.
I wrote my own show notes. It says Solo, a Star Wars story. First bullet point. Talk about Solo, a Star Wars story. And I'm doing it. I'm following my show notes. What the heck? You know what? You're always the one that makes the jokes about show prep. And the one time you do an outline, you're throwing a fit.
Yeah, I am.
It's like, you're always the one, we don't do show prep, but God forbid one time you do show prep.
Well, because
He's got 2 different colors of bullet points, damn it.
You actually color coded this crap?
No, I did not.
He actually made a PowerPoint presentation that he's afraid to show us at this point because you keep making fun of him, John.
It's got flash.
No, it's only because it's an audio podcast. If it was a video format.
He's got his little laser pointer and he's like putting the overhead projection on the wall.
Over here, you will see Beckett. And what is he wearing in those pants? What is that anyway?
Point J, subsection 3 says there's a new trooper on this planet. No,
as you can see, there's 2 extra headlights on the front of the Falcon originally. And the hallways were a lot cleaner.
It's like brand new straight off the lot.
Yeah, I did.
What's that about?
I did catch that part of the trailer, though. Again, going in depth a little bit. Han Solo is a damn slob, dude.
Yeah, right?
Good God, that man did not dust the Falcon one freaking time, did he?
No wonder when he lands on Bespin, Lando goes, "What did you do to my ship?" Like, hey, I won her fair and square. That doesn't mean you could take a giant crap all over the thing. What the hell?
The walls are just stained with Wookiee fart. Like,
yeah,
what the hell, dude?
what the hell is that? Oh my God. How much does it screw with your impression of the Falcon now, knowing that the seats in the den are not actually tan?
Right?
It's like, remember back in the day when Married with Children was on?
Yeah.
And Al went and washed the Dodge because it was always brown for like 15 years. And then it came out the other side red and he didn't know it was his car. He's like, what the hell is that thing? Oh, that's your car, sir. What? I didn't know that was the color.
They must like, you know how when you have smokers in your house and you go to move and you pull a bookshelf away and the wall's white and you never knew it wasn't like yellow.
God, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Like Han's like a chain smoker. There's like freaking ashtrays everywhere. They're lighting cigarettes off the other. Just like it's like a cancerous cloud in the Falcon.
Dude,
that's why those masks were hitting in the Falcon when Ray and Finn went on there.
Yeah, exactly. This is for guests on the Falcon. Hey, you might want to put these on.
Hey, you've been in here. You've been in
hell. I think that was for them.
Yeah,
that was their oxygen tank.
You've been in the ship more than 30 seconds. I'm pretty sure you got cancer already. You should probably put these masks on.
Yeah, right. What the hell's with the Falcon? It smells like a Marlboro commercial. Like, what is that?
Yeah, but
by the time A New Hope was supposed to come out, Han's talking with one of those metal things in his throat.
It's a stoma, isn't that? That was the original cut of that was the original cut of episode 4, but they realized
I'm Han Solo, captain of the Millennium Falcon.
What do you mean you've never heard of the Falcon? It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. And George Lucas is like, I don't think this is really getting a lot of emotional impact in this scene. Let's make them normal.
You know what, Harrison? Just talk normal. We got to cut down running time of the film. This is taking too long. Just read the lines normally.
What would Chewbacca sound like with a stoma? Oh, everything would just sound exactly the same.
Of all the times, I wish I had a Pringles can in the basement.
Boy, you said it, Chewie. Where did you dig up that old fossil?
He doesn't even need the stoma. Chewie used to talk normal.
Yeah, right.
Until the throat cancer kicked in.
all the smoking. Yeah, that's why if you watch Empire Dreams when it's
oh God, Han, we got to get going. We should probably jump into.
It really was supposed to be Peter Mayhew's British accent. That old man's mad, and then it kicks in. And he's like,
his speech just evolved into a smoker's cough.
I think we're off on one of our stupid episodes again. Oh,
Chewie's
boy.
just running around the ship smoking Lucky Strikes.
Do you think Chewbacca prefers menthols? That's why his turned out way worse. He just had all the extra crap
Unfiltered Pall Malls. He's old school.
Chewbacca's actually white as well. Those are just tobacco stains.
We're gonna go see Solo, and Chewie's gonna look like a Wampa. Who the hell is that character? He's got a bandolier on like Chewie, but that's not. Holy crap, it's Chewbacca.
He's gonna be speaking all distinguished, like, "Good afternoon, I'm Chewbacca. How are you, Mr. Solo? It's going to be a pleasure to work with you."
He's talking like 3PO. He knows like 3,700 languages. And then Han's chain smoking habit, he was just like, "Oh, go ahead and give one of those a try."
Yeah, fire up this heater and see how that makes you feel there.
I see Chewie as more of a pipe man. He just got an old school Sherlock Holmes curly Q pipe.
That's what he started out at, but then Han got him hooked on cools.
That's actually what the bandolier holds. The bandolier is just pack after
It's
pack
just
after
cigarette
pack.
packs.
Well, I can see what the thumbnail picture for this week's episode is gonna be. And you had show notes. This is why we don't do show prep, man.
And all this happens before they meet Lando again, who introduces them all to the world at Colt 45.
This movie, all it does.
You know what would go great with those cigarettes? Nice tall malt liquor.
This movie's just going to be about how Han and Chewie develop addictions and destroy everything around them.
That's not actually a speeder chase we see in the trailer. It's just them being pulled over for DUI.
That's why the Falcon changed so much over the years. Just drunken car accidents left and right.
Just knocking pieces off of it.
It's just sideswiping everything.
Han's just
That's what happened to the TIE fighter. He was just trying to fly straight.
Han's just smashing into every damn thing. Just,
I hit another one. Oh, boy. Chewie's over there.
Less than 12 parsecs. It was less than 12 steps is what he was bragging about.
You never heard of the Millennium Falcon? I'm the pilot that did 12 steps, or made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
the first step is admitting you have a ship.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. We have sufficiently gone off the rails. So, next talking
So
point.
anyway, bullet points.
All right. Bullet points.
Next talking point.
Kessel Run.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's start with that, though. Okay, so this movie is going to show the key moments in Han Story's backstory. Do we need to see that stuff? Do you guys want to see that stuff?
I think it's a completely unnecessary story, but if you're going it's kind of a catch-22 because you don't need it at all. But if you're going to do a Han Solo movie, can you imagine the fit people would throw if you don't have that stuff in there?
Exactly.
I mean, you have to.
Well, weren't you saying that this is basically just a huge fan service movie?
That's when they showed that like very preliminary cut. That's what a few people said, that it's basically like, if for those of you who do not like The Last Jedi, this is the movie for you because it's nothing but fan service. Like, oh, you want the Kessel Run? Here it is. Want to see how he meets Lando? Here it is. So,
and Tag and Bink.
That's why does that matter? It's like when I read that, I was like,
so that
like,
is a complete fan service, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't
it is.
that like just a couple of guys from the comic book or something like that?
It's a joke comic book series that puts them just like outside of the frame of key events throughout the Star Wars saga. Like they inadvertently cause all of them, kind of a thing. Like, you know, the Emperor didn't fall down the shafts. He like tripped over a boot that they left behind, or, you know, something like that. It's all like stupid stuff like that.
All right. Yeah.
So they're just throwing in like any like EU or comic book reference or anything that they want to like just throw in to see who recognizes it, I guess.
Oh, let me guess. They're going to get the guy from Shaun of the Dead to play one of those guys, right?
Oh, no. No, Simon Pegg. No. Hate that guy.
Oh, sorry. I almost made you cuss.
I've been good. You cussed once, but
no, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You missed
saved
it. No, you didn't. You accidentally cussed once. I just didn't want to say anything. So there will be a curse word that's not bleeped out in this episode.
Yeah, I didn't mark it, so it's just sitting in there.
There it is.
See, I don't think there is one then.
I guarantee you there is. So just trust me, because I am fighting not to swear because I promised I wouldn't.
You know, it's a lot easier to not do it when we don't point it out.
Yeah, that's okay. That's true.
Well, now I want to know what I said.
Yeah. You said the SH word, Steve. It was a no-no. Boo. So, okay, where were we?
So,
characters. That's the next bullet point.
So
Yes.
we were talking about like, do you need to see all this backstory on Han Solo? I mean, I guess if you're going to do a Han Solo backstory, you have to do the events that have been referenced in other movies. But, you know, it's like, what are they going to do next? Are they going to do like a Lando short film called Maneuver at the Battle of
Tanab.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? They have the Marvel one-offs at the end of the Marvel movies. Now they have it in Star Wars. It's called the Battle of Tanab. There's a Lando kicking ass in some obscure battle. Like, oh, okay, there we go. I was thinking about this as we were talking about it, and you say, like, do you need to see this stuff? Well, yeah, in a way, as I said, because people will throw a fit if you don't. But it's almost like, you know, when Obi-Wan Kenobi mentioned the Clone Wars in episode 4, and people are always like, oh, what was that? So when you're in the prequels, you got to kind of show some big battles to show, now I know why it was such a big deal to Obi-Wan Kenobi. That fan service, people are going to have those questions. And if you don't answer them, I mean, look at.
And you got to throw them all in too.
Yeah.
You can't have like 2 of the 3. And like you said, oh, you guys didn't say anything about the Kessel Run, but you showed Chewie and Lando and blah, blah, blah. Like you need to have every stupid little detail that we've been told over the years, or people are just, it's the general consensus that we always talk about on this podcast is no matter what you do, you're going to get it wrong.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look at the backlash against The Last Jedi right now, where people are like, oh, they didn't say anything about the Knights of Ren. They didn't tell us anything about where Ren or Snoke comes from. So if you do a Solo movie and you don't have, you know, how he meets Lando and how he does the Kessel Run and gets the Falcon, can you imagine the fit people would throw?
You got to have the majors in, like you just said. You got to have the majors because you got to cater to the majority of fans, but people are still going to complain about all the little tiny ones. Yeah, you got to expect that. But yeah, you can't. Like you said, Chewie, Lando, getting the Falcon, the Kessel Run, all that stuff needs to be spoon-fed to you, or people are just going to be pissed.
The only one I think is really necessary would be the Kessel Run because, you know, people know.
Watch him ruin that. Watch him ruin it somehow. Say he like cheated or something like that. He actually did it in 14, and Rey was right in episode 7 or something.
Right.
And
I could see them pulling something like that. Totally.
And then it makes you go back and look at every other movie and go, he didn't really do it in 12 parsecs.
Well, dude, seriously, like one thing we do know about Han Solo is he's kind of a BS artist.
Yeah.
He's Force Awakens, like, when have I ever not delivered? What was the second time?
Yeah, what was the other time?
Yeah. So like he has been known to stretch the truth a little bit. So maybe it wasn't really 12 parsecs.
Yeah. I just want to know what it is. I mean, I've read speculation on it. So, I mean, I have somewhat of an idea of what it could be. But when you talk about, how do you meet Lando? Like, well, they're kind of scoundrels. So he runs into him somewhere and they're gambling. And, we've all heard the story about how he Lando lost the Falcon over a game of Sabacc. So, Han beats him at some intergalactic card game, wins his ship. Okay, there. Chewie, does it matter? He met him.
See, I think that's going to be the tall order, is they're telling all these events that seem pretty self-explanatory. So to tell them in a compelling way is going to be kind of difficult. That's kind of like Rogue One too, where you're like, okay, they stole some Death Star plans, got it, but the way they played it out was so much different than probably what most people were expecting.
Yeah,
that I think they got the opportunity to do that here, and it could be really cool. Like, I really want to see him meet Chewbacca. That's going to be the one moment that I really want to see, because I don't know how many different versions of that have been written in Legends.
Yeah,
but that's the best thing, because everyone's like, oh, great, they're pulling all this Legends material in. They're pulling from the old EU. But as my friend Eric, who loves all of that stuff, says, he's pissed every time they do that now, because if it deviates in any way from the way it was written in the book, then he's like, they're crapping all over the old Legends universe. That's not the way it went down. Like, so they can choose any one of the number of different ways that Han met Chewie, according to, the back of the action figure from the 90s, or from the Legends book that told it this way, or vice versa, whatever. And no matter which way they tell it, no matter how perfectly they tell it, whatever camp likes the other story better is going to be up in arms over it. Like, there is no way to do this movie properly and make everybody happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing. It's kind of like a catch-22. I mean, it's like the whole meeting Chewie thing. It'll be cool. Again, I don't think it's necessary, but the one thing I hope they don't do is do that life debt thing. For some reason, I just think it'd be cooler if they were like scoundrels on the same team and they just happen to kick ass together and they've got this awesome criminal chemistry. Like, to me, that'd be so much cooler than, I saved your life and now you're stuck with me, because of, Wookiee beliefs. Like, that's fine if they do that. I just kind of think it'd be cooler if it was a little more nefarious. So, I don't know. It's just that whole life debt thing just never seemed very interesting to me. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but to me, I was just like, all right, well, whatever.
Yeah, it's just kind of a meh.
Well, Chewie always seemed a little too nice to go along with all the crap that Han pulled. So the only explanation is that he was stuck there through some sort of a commitment.
Right. What if that's what Chewie's been saying all these years, just cussing Han out? He's
like, dude, you can just drop me at Kashyyyk. If you just leave me at Kashyyyk, I'll get off the ship. You never take me home.
Yeah, what the heck, man?
He just roars and Han goes, oh yeah, Chewie said blah, blah, blah. And Chewie's just like, that's not
that is not what I said at all. That is not what I said at all. I was talking about your mother. Again, quit acting like I wasn't.
Like, dude, give me a dry erase board. I will spell it out for you.
Right? Yeah.
You ever notice there's never writing equipment on the Falcon? So,
well, Han doesn't know how to write. Apparently,
trying to say
what it is. Han's illiterate.
Trying to say Chewie has Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, right. That'd be great if that's the backstory. You're like, what?
Right? Just makes you feel sorry for Chewie every time you watch the original trilogy now.
Man, you think that the Han and Greedo shooting first thing changes Han's character? Wait till you see the Solo movie. You want to see Chewbacca's character change. Good God.
Isn't it weird, though?
God, his character arc just went down a dark path. Jesus.
Yeah. What did they name Han? Ariel Castro. Good Lord.
Oh, dude. Too dark. Too soon. Too local.
That was years ago and it was in our city. We can make fun of it.
God. This isn't the Browns.
Well, true. Very true.
So what I want to know is why Chewbacca looks different. Did you notice that?
Oh, they had to young him up.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, though. They've shown him in the Clone Wars cartoon looking the same as he does in the original trilogy. They showed him in episode 3 saying goodbye to Yoda, looking the same as he did in the original trilogy. So what, he just like went through a phase where he's like, you know what, I'm going to wear maybe a split bandolier. Because, like, what? It's, you know what it was? He went to college. Everyone experiments in college.
Had to be.
I mean, he's,
you know, Lando's parting his hair. Chewbacca's wearing a different bandolier. You know, they're just trying some stuff out.
Well, you know, dude, you know the rule.
They used the same episode 7 line with Han and Leia when she's like, new jacket?
Yeah.
They just go to Chewie, new bandolier? No.
Same bandolier.
Same one.
I mean, dude, you know how it is. When you make a new Star Wars movie, you have to change stuff. You can't possibly leave crap alone.
Yeah.
As
I mean, Chewie's what, a few couple hundred years old or something like that. It's like, but you're trying to say that he had this very drastic change in appearance within what, 10 years or so, 15 years between Solo and in A New Hope, apparently.
I'm sure they'll have this weird way of explaining it. They'll be like, what the heck? So basically it's some weird, like, Wookiee puberty where they're like light colored and goofy looking, and then all of a sudden he turns into regular Chewbacca we know. Like, it's like when Homer Simpson's voice changes in the middle of the church choir. Like, so yeah, I mean, they just have to change crap. You know how it is. I mean, again, the stormtroopers are different, so there you go.
More new stormtroopers.
Let's just get used to that. If
Yeah.
you see a new planet, you're going to see a new stormtrooper. That's the way it goes.
And we already know something's going to happen during this movie that completely wipes out every last one of them by the end of the film. That's why they can explain that you never see them in A New Hope or going further than that.
Right? Like the beach troopers on Scarif in Rogue One. I don't know. I kind of expected that. So when they showed it, and Chewie doesn't look too different, I suppose. So I guess they could have done more with that. But so at least it wasn't too bad.
And we're also going to assume that Emily Clark and Woody Harrelson are going to die in this movie too, correct?
Have they said how to pronounce her name yet? It's spelled
Kira.
Kira?
Is it Kira?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kira lays into the darkness of the... Sorry, Mr. reference there. How 80s of me.
Well, my nerdy ass, I'm thinking of Kira from Deep Space Nine on Star Trek.
Oh, well.
I don't know. I'm just going to call her Daenerys. So
Sarah Connor.
It's Sarah Connor. I'm wondering how they come in. I mean, they already, EW did a series of articles, and they said that Kira is basically someone from Han's past who shapes his future or something like that. And then
Baby mama.
Yeah, exactly. And then Woody Harrelson plays Beckett, and he is basically Han's mentor.
So he plays the same role he did in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, from the sounds of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
we got Haymitch back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's cool.
There's some shots in this trailer that I really hope kind of are played out a little more than because they look awesome. Like
Speaking of
that Star Destroyer coming out of the cloud or whatever it is, like you get that lightning flash and then you see, oh my God, was that cool?
Going back to an initial reaction thing, that was extremely weird to me to see Woody Harrelson in a Star Wars trailer.
You know what?
I'm like, wow, dude, like this just doesn't seem right to see him in this movie.
You know what? I thought about that the other day, and it's
like, it's cool, but at the same point, you're just like, Woody Harrelson in Star Wars?
I agree with you, but by the same token, when you think about it, like a lot of the backlash on the prequels was that they went with unknown people in a lot of roles, and people say that it suffered. And if you notice now in the new movie, since Disney took over, they're getting name actors that have serious chops to play these parts. So and I mean, you can kind of tell, because the performances have pretty much been lauded as like being really, really excellent.
Yeah.
But there's a certain level of star. And that's where the original trilogy, those actors, they weren't anybody at the time they made the movies. So they got good performances, but it wasn't like you saw Harrison Ford and you're like, by the time Return of the Jedi came out, you're not like, oh, that's Indiana Jones. You're like, no, it's Han Solo, because I saw him as Han Solo first.
Yeah.
Whereas, prequels, you see like Sam Jackson as Mace Windu. You're not seeing Mace Windu. You're seeing Sam Jackson.
Exactly.
See, I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm different. I know I'm probably
my
alone
first
in that,
thought
but
of seeing Woody Harrelson was hoping that he's like half the character he was in Zombieland.
Oh, that'd be great. It's Tallahassee.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's just got his own ship with a 3 painted on the driver's side door.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't. I never really see them as like their other characters because maybe it's just because I'm suspending disbelief in Star Wars. But especially people like Woody Harrelson, where you've seen him play all these different people, so it's not like you associate him with one particular character. Like if you were to see Christian Bale in a Star Wars movie, you'd be like, well, that's Bruce Wayne, that's Batman. Like, what the hell? So I think it's a little bit different.
I mean, there is a certain level of that. It's like you can't cross brand. Like you're not going to get, Chris Hemsworth to jump into a Star Wars movie because you're going to be like, okay, like you just put Thor in there. There's something's not right about this.
The Bounty Hunter movie is going to be Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., and Chris Evans.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we have an excellent A-list cast to play all the bounty hunters, and you're like, what the hell is that? Like,
say I get not cross branding, dipping into Company Inc. or whatever, with the people that are already on your payroll. So I get it to that extent, but yeah, just like AJ said, you get these A-list guys that you start to think about the other roles you've seen them in. Like I said, my first thought was it's Tallahassee, it's Haymitch, it's what you start to look at, and you're right. I absolutely looked at Sam Jackson as Sam Jackson in the prequels before I went, hey, that's Mace Windu.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, look at Samuel L. Jackson. He's going to say mother effer at some point.
Some people can do it and some people can't, though. Like Emily Clark, I didn't know that was her at first. Because
isn't it Emilia Clarke?
Emilia Clarke, sorry.
Clarkson?
Yeah. Clark.
Emilia Clarke, okay.
Yeah, because you look at her in Game of Thrones, you look at her as Sarah Connor, and you look at her in this, they don't look anything alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
she's a chameleon, man. It's crazy.
Like at this point, I 100% just look at her as Daenerys from Game of Thrones. So you just see the bleach blonde hair and all that. And all I have to do is see her as a brunette, which is her natural color. And you go, who the hell is that?
Yeah, right.
Like it doesn't even look like the same person. She's not in Game of Thrones. Oh, yes, she is. Okay.
Oh, I guess that's her. So
yeah, hers not so much, because if she was long bleach blonde, I would be like, oh yeah, it's the chick from Game of Thrones. But so like her, not so much a problem. But Woody Harrelson is like the same guy in every movie.
Yeah, it's like casting Bruce Willis or something. Like he's only got one look.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. They got one look that they go with. There's no matter what movie Bruce Willis is in, he looks like the guy from Die Hard. That's the only character he ever plays. He's got a new movie coming out here in a couple months. I just saw
Death Wish. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's another Die Hard movie. Oh, Death Wish.
That's why I was like,
I'll go see it.
I was laughing because this past weekend, I watched all the Blade Runners over at my cousin's house, and I'm like, dude, okay, the one thing that made Blade Runner stand out in the midst of Indiana Jones and Star Wars is that his haircut was different. So you're like, okay, fine. He's looking like this different character. He's Deckard. He's not Henry Jones Jr. He's not Han Solo. He's Deckard. But then like he shows up in the sequel. He looks just like Han Solo from Force Awakens. Like no different haircut, no nothing. Like, dude, you're not even trying anymore. You just pop up in any role you've previously done and people are like, oh my God, it's that guy. Like, dude, come on. Can you try a little bit? Just a little bit?
A little bit of effort goes a long way.
At this point, he's like, I'm 75. Screw you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing. Deckard is aged identically to Han Solo. They even chose the same hairstyle.
All right. Man. So, all right.
But let's talk about this villain, though. I want to talk about that guy as long as we're on characters, because holy crap. What do you think of him? Or it?
Which one are we talking about?
The big, beastly, spiky-faced mask guy.
Why am I not remembering that?
He was fighting Beckett on top of the train thing.
Oh, I was just paying attention to the train. I was like, that is cool.
There were a couple good close-ups of him, too, though.
Okay.
He's got the big mask with just the single eye slit and a whole bunch of the metal things poking out of the sides and the top of it.
Yeah. I have to go back and watch that. I noticed it, but I think a lot of it was I was into the tonality of the trailer, and also looking at Alden Ehrenreich going, I don't know about that. Like, so I was kind of, I'm still in that mode that I always get into with when it's new Star Wars. My brain's going, new Star Wars. It's new Star Wars. Holy crap. It's new Star Wars. Like,
so, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this guy dies during the movie too.
Yeah. They just kill everybody but Han and Chewie and Lando.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm expecting, to tell you the truth.
That would be awesome.
Pulling from the Rogue One storyline.
Yeah.
That's what happens during the Kessel run. He ends up going off track a little bit to like cut some time off, and he ends up mowing down everybody in the movie except
GTA 5 style, just thump, 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 just white.
Exactly, like road cones in a bad driver's license test.
And one of Han's alcoholic phases while he's smoking the unfiltered Pall Malls behind the wheel. He just mows down Beckett and Kira on the side of the road.
Man, I really like him. Oh well. Hey, what was that? We hit something else? What the hell is going on here?
He just smashes into him, and that's why he has to replace the satellite dish on the Falcon.
That's why the stormtroopers were trying to shoot him down, leave him Mos Eisley, because that was actually the impound lot.
He was stealing the Falcon back after he got pulled over again. Would that be?
That's why it kind of like warbled on its way out of the docking bay
from all the crap that he's hit.
We got to look on the Blu-rays again. There might be some party plates on the back of that thing.
Wouldn't that be awesome? One of the things that you missed. There's gold dice, but no one ever saw the yellow and red license plate.
Right.
He was on Mos Eisley to get an SR-22 so he could drive legally.
Mos Eisley is actually the intergalactic BMV.
That's why they had to bypass the compressor in Force Awakens, because it was the damn it was the
breathalyzer.
Yeah.
He couldn't go to light speed because the breathalyzer's still on there.
And Ray just goes in and breaks it off.
Yeah. That's why they're still hunting Han. They're like, hey, broke it off. We got to go get him. He's breaking terms of his parole or whatever it is.
You see him take off from Mos Eisley. You just see the boot fall off the bottom. Just dunks Jabba in the head.
Yeah, that's the real reason Jabba wants him. Not because he owes him credits. It's because he threw a boot at him from a couple, like a half a mile up.
Do you think that's how he navigated the asteroid belt in Empire? He was just trying to fly straight.
It was all a complete accident.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go into an asteroid field.
The boot just keeps forcing it to the left.
It's causing drag in space.
Han keeps trying to turn right. That's why he's making all those crazy turns. Like, I'm gonna go right. God damn it! No, right. Come on. He flew in. He was so hammered. He flew into the space slug, knowing it was a space slug. Yeah, that looks good right there.
What if Chewbacca's really the one that's hammered all the time, and that's why we can't understand him?
Chewbacca's trying to steer while Han's steering. They're just Han is like overcorrecting to compensate for Chewie.
It's like those cars that the driving schools have, that they have like the extra steering wheel and the extra brake pedal in it. But Chewie's looking out the window going, no, we gotta turn right, and Han's just drunkenly trying to turn to the left.
They're both just turning against each other.
The damn thing just keeps smashing into stuff. That's why they got the whole redesign of the Falcon. That's why it's got the split in the middle. You know, the nice new Falcon is full on the front of it. Yeah,
that's why Han knew exactly what was going on in the asteroids. He's like, that wasn't a laser bolt. Something hit us. Because trust me, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I've hit enough things in my day.
And now we figured out how the old beat up Falcon has that split in the front, when the one in this movie is like a complete nice triangle.
Exactly.
He T-boned the hell out of something from behind and just smashed it in.
He just smashed into a Star Destroyer perfectly head on. Yeah. right into the middle of the cheese wedge, so it just forced the ends of the Falcon out.
The cheese wedge. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Chewie, don't turn left there. I'll put us within 500 yards of a school. Rules of my probation say I can't go there just because I drink too much alcohol.
Uncle Han had too many bowls of loudmouth soup.
Did we witness a felony in Revenge of the Sith when we saw the Falcon come into dock then? Was that like too close to the Jedi Temple with the younglings?
Yeah, apparently so.
Possibly.
It's like I just can't get the thought of like Han drunk smashing into shit in the Falcon out of my head. But what's funny? We could actually do that when on that ride now. We could actually just fly the Falcon like we're hammered.
We'll just all go to Galaxy's Edge and get trashed and jump in line for fly the Falcon.
They're gonna Castle Run. Woo! Han Solo, yeah!
The whole time our ship hasn't even left the bay yet. We're just
it's just banging off the walls trying to get out.
That's why his maneuver was listing lazily to the left. He was nodding off at the wheel. Chewie, crack a window. The cold air keeps me awake.
He's dragging a hand out there to like get the This is so stupid.
We're writing a way better movie than these guys
I
did.
know. This is probably the movie that like Miller and Lord wrote, and Kathleen Kennedy came in and went, nope, we're not doing that. Meanwhile, the three of us would have absolutely loved it. Like, wow, what an interesting take on the character of Han Solo.
And then Harrison Ford remembers his plane accident and read the script and go, yep, that could happen.
All right.
So are you actually okay with them changing the look of the Falcon?
Initial thoughts, same for me, same thing as the Han Solo thing. I just looked at the Falcon. I went, that's not the Falcon.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah. That's what
actually, and I thought that weeks ago when AJ sent me a link of leaked Lego kits, and I saw the new Falcon. I was just like, the hell is that thing? This is get it out of here.
Yeah. I mean, there's interesting speculation about, the front of it, like, they're calling them the mandibles as we know them, that triangular, when it looks like one big triangle now.
Yeah.
That maybe, when Han is referencing, oh, well, drop, Greedo says something like drop your cargo at the first sight of a whatever. Like maybe that he was carrying something in that, had to dump it to get the F out of there. So maybe that's what it is. People speculated on that.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that with like the whole shipment container that just kind of like lodges in the front of it and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, see, a lot of the stuff is not lining up for me. But then again, it is a backstory. So that they're going to get to where you're seeing like Han and the Falcon kind of like the way it. So while it looks weird to me now, I think I've been conditioned by Rogue One to kind of, first of all, the trailers for The Last Jedi and also the overall movie of Rogue One to kind of like wait it out and just see how it plays out. Because while I'm not liking, the Falcon with just a big fat triangle on the front of it, I know it doesn't end up that way. So I'm kind of interested to see how they tell that story. Like you said, AJ, like,
it's like, it's the full front end. It's the satellite dish that's like laying down.
Yeah.
On like flush with the ship is just something odd about it.
Yeah. But it's like
bright colors. Like it's got blue on it or something.
Yeah.
What the hell is that thing?
Exactly.
Where's the hunk of junk?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
After
it's not the same if Han doesn't have to punch something to get the stupid thing to turn on.
Right.
First time he gets in the Falcon, he actually turns the key and it starts. And you're just like, what is that?
Yeah, it's like fresh off the lot. No, I think for me, it's Rogue One really kind of.
When Han gets into the Falcon, the first time you see him throw the paper floor mat out from getting.
Nice. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, for me, I just think Rogue One taught me that, to just go see the movie, and especially The Last Jedi, go see it and see how everything plays out, because a trailer and the initial feel of it and things that are leaked about the movie are almost always incorrect. So you don't really know what you're going to get. I mean,
yeah, life is like a box of chocolates, man.
Yeah, nice. But I mean, The Force Awakens, for example, we are all excited because we knew Luke Skywalker is going to be in it. Well, he was in it for like 30 seconds. So you just don't know. So if there's stuff that, you don't like, wait for the movie to come out to see. I mean, Chirrut Imwe is a perfect example. I thought that was the dumbest thing ever. And now he's my favorite character in that movie. So
we podcasted like 6 hours before that movie came out, and you were still swearing that thing up and down. You're like, this guy's got a damn stick.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
Yeah. So I think I'm reserving judgment until I see it.
Yeah.
But the other thing of it is
like definitely giving the movie a shot. Without a doubt. It's just, I guarantee it's going to be at least a half hour into that movie before I could see this guy as Han Solo, and I can see the Falcon as brand new, quote unquote, and I can see this guy as Lando. It's going to take me. It's probably going to take two actual watches through, because I'm going to spend so much time trying to connect these people with the character that they're not. To
acclimate yourself to the new representation. Yeah. I think for me, what's going to kind of temper it a little bit is, again, their storytelling history now, having done 3 films before this, but also knowing where it ends up. For me, it's going to be kind of cool, because the whole movie I'll be waiting to see the Han Solo and the Falcon that I know. So it'll be kind of, it's like that, when you go to a movie where you don't know where it ends, you don't know if you're going to get a payoff. Like, you might sit there the whole time waiting for something, and it ends up being a piece of crap. You're like, damn, that didn't give me anything. But this one, I know that at the end, I'm going to get more of a Han Solo that I know. I'm going to get the Falcon that I know. So it's like, I know, if nothing else, I'm going to see more of the Millennium Falcon that I know at the end of the movie. So even if Alden Ehrenreich trying to be like older Han is not quite there, it'll still be the Falcon somehow, which will make it worth the ticket price for me. So, it's weird with this movie, man. It's like we said, it's so unnecessary, but I am really excited for it. I'm just super nervous.
It's nervous sighted.
Yeah.
Because there's still that little thing we talked about when this was just rumored, and it's that whole, this really, depending on your storytelling here, this could literally ruin an entire character. So it's very, very tough. It's very thin line that they're working with on this thing.
And I think a lot of fans are just going into it with like a bad outlook. Oh, it's going to suck, or it has to do this, or it has to do that. Like, why can't you just go into it understanding that, like, it's an incredibly daunting thing to write a backstory of one of the most popular characters in movie history. Just go into it expecting to see something fun. Don't go in there critiquing whether or not they did an awesome job. They have to do this and have to. No, just tell a kick-ass story that you could see how this guy becomes the person that you know.
So when did you come to this conclusion? Because we had this conversation off air that actually led to this show being done tonight. And you and I were on completely opposite points of the spectrum. You were hating everything that you saw. And I was the one going, well, they did okay with Rogue One, way more than okay. So I'm gonna trust that this is gonna turn out good too. And you were just like, you were so apprehensive about this. I didn't hear you looking forward to this at all. And now you're like basically proving my point for me.
Well, I think as I've been reading stuff and thinking about the movie, like, again, it goes back to my outlook on episode 1. I went into it going, this is not going to live up to 4, 5, and 6. There's no way it can. So just show me something fun. Show me something cool. And for me, the character of Han Solo is basically 4, 5, and 6. And this movie, Solo, is episode 1. Because there's no way it's going to, there's no possible way it's that Alden Ehrenreich is going to live up to Harrison Ford. Again, you got a character. You have 40 years.
Just wait for those debates to erupt online.
Oh my God.
That's going to totally come out. The movie's going to hit, and there's going to be that contingent. It's like, Alden Ehrenreich is Han Solo.
Yep.
This is the Han we've always wanted. Actually, JT is going to start the change.org thing tonight about the whole make the Solo story not part of Star Wars canon.
Oh God, that argument. See, you know, there's going to be a huge population of people going, he wasn't like Han Solo at all. Like, well, what do you expect? I mean, were you really expecting this guy to go in there in 1 2-hour and 15-minute movie to be exactly like Harrison Ford, how he was for 40 years? Like, you can't have that expectation.
That's the problem, though. That's the problem with this whole idea is, like, at least with Star Trek, when they did like the new movie in 2009, they wrote it as like an alternate timeline and they explained where things could be a little bit different. This is just them saying, hey, the guy you've seen on screen all this time, here's more of him, but at a younger age. So you can't like put your spin on it. You've got to be like, this is how Harrison Ford plays Han Solo. This is how I got to play Han Solo.
Well, no, because
the dude in the Chewbacca outfit's just like, yeah, sucks to be you, man.
Yeah, right.
I'm tall, therefore I've played Chewbacca perfectly.
Yep.
Exactly. No, I mean, dude, I would disagree because this movie could show events that, you know, maybe Han was like kind of Luke-ish, you know, like a young Luke who's all idealistic or something. And then he just gets crapped on so much throughout the course of this movie that it's kind of like, you know, like how the Falcon gets all dinged up and turns into a hunk of junk. Maybe that happens to Han throughout his life. He, you know, starts out as shiny and new and nice, and things just keep beating him up until he, you know, gets broken down into the guy we know in the original trilogy. I mean, because it's like the whole Anakin Skywalker thing in the prequels. Like, what did people want? Did they just want to see like Anakin Skywalker come on screen and be a total, you know, total piece of crap, and then he's a bigger piece of crap, then he's the ultimate piece of crap? Like, what good would that do? Like, what kind of backstory is that? It's just not realistic.
Well, that's kind of the argument that Darth Vader had last time on the show, was that, you know, Han Solo was a piece of crap when we met him in episode 4. And that was the thing, is he started to behave out of character because of the influence of Leia and Luke and Ben.
Yeah.
So,
well, now in this movie, he's surrounded by a bunch of criminals. So you could say that exact same thing.
Yeah. So he could operate exactly like a piece of crap.
Yeah.
It would make sense because apparently he's a scoundrel.
Yeah. He learns to be a piece of crap, but he only started out as like kind of like a good guy, a straight good guy. And that's why, you know, as the events of the original trilogy unfold, he kind of goes back to, you know, playing for the good guys because that's where he started. And the influence went away from criminal bounty hunter stuff to, you know, the Rebel Alliance. So, yeah, I mean, my opinion of the movie is just, excuse me, as I've thought about it more and more, is that, you know, again, it's not going to live up to Harrison Ford. There's no way for it to do so. Even if it's amazing, it's still Harrison Ford as Han Solo. It's like one of the most iconic characters in movie history. So why not have fun with it? Honestly, my biggest fear is that it's going to be that one Star Wars movie they finally make where you leave the theater going, that sucked. Because even with episode 7, as much as, you know, that one's my least favorite of the 9, I didn't leave the theater saying it sucked. I was like, that movie was great, but I don't know. It's like it's just not the same feel as the other movies.
Yeah, I feel like Solo can be white or black. Like, I don't think there's going to be a gray area with this movie. You're either going to love that thing or you're going to walk out of the theater and go, oh, no.
Steve, Han Solo's white. Lando's black. Clear that up for you right now.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Not to get all, you know, political on you, but
I forgot.
No, you know what this actually feels like?
Drunk drivers.
a lot of the visuals and the stuff that they're doing here, you know what it feels like to me? A live action version of Rebels. It's a lot of stuff that looks similar to the original trilogy, but not quite. It's all variations of the theme.
Yeah.
Stuff that you could see in the original trilogy, but you just didn't.
Well, you know what? Doesn't this kind of seem like it kind of happens around the same time period?
I was thinking about that. This is a little bit before, because we're talking about like 5 years before A New Hope for the start of Rebels. This is like 16 to 10 years before.
Is that what they said? And
yeah, they said that it's going to cover him from basically like age like 18 to 24, and he was like 30-ish.
So what you're saying is we should,
when he shows up in episode 4,
we should not get any Rebels characters spoon-fed to us during this movie.
Oh, no, they'd still be there, just, you know, different versions. Okay. Like, you could see like Kanan allegedly, you know, when he was still undercover. You could see Hera.
Kira is force sensitive, and Han gets her knocked up, and that's where Ezra Bridger comes from.
Oh my God. What would you do? What would you do if actually that can't happen? That's fine. No, it really can't. Ezra Bridger was apparently born on Empire Day, on the official birth of the Empire. So when Palpatine's giving his speech, Ezra's coming out. He's got the same birthday as Luke and Leia.
Was that Empire Day?
Yeah, the Empire Day is the day that he officially formed the Galactic Empire.
Yeah, I guess Luke and Leia were born on that day, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I never noticed that.
So at least we debunked that. We don't have to worry about Bridger being a solo.
So Ezra Bridger is the exact same age as Luke and Leia.
Yes.
Well, that's certainly interesting.
The more you know, Rainbow Star. Flying through space.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Well,
all right. Well,
and also, at least they're giving us the movie on Star Wars Day, right? On
now
May
that's
20,
cool.
On the 25th.
That's
right?
cool. And I'm super excited because
Star Wars Day is May 4th now, but you know what I meant.
Well, yeah, we'll be seeing it the day before May 25th. But
yeah,
the cool thing for me, like I was saying in text message, I know this is slightly off topic, but I'm always like,
more
whenever
fan
they,
service.
yeah, the last 3 movies when they've come out, like I always want to go see them like a ton, but my job that I had wouldn't let us take time off in December, so I wasn't able to, if I love it, just jump back in line and go see it a second time that night. Then wake up in the morning, go again. And now my new job actually gives us May 25th off because for Labor Day and Memorial Day, they don't just give us the Monday, they give us the Friday too. So it's a 4-day weekend.
Sweet.
So I automatically have off that Friday. So I can do whatever I want for Solo.
Dude, that's awesome.
So May 25th may forever be known as Solo Day for me. Because if it's awesome, I'm going to go see it a bunch.
And if it sucks,
I'll go see it a bunch.
okay. I kind of figured as much. That's why I asked.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't we close up shop on that one? I'm sure there's more to talk about, but we've blathered on long enough about it.
I have more talking points. Should we look at the show notes some more?
You could save them for future Solo episodes.
Actually, as the show's been going on, every time he updates it, it's updating on my computer screen, and it's still got a bunch of stuff like highlighted that we missed. So he's
like a freaking book report over there or something.
Kind of, sorta.
Oh boy. Yeah. Maybe you could do a solo show with them. Oh,
Ooh, I see what you did there.
You got to hand it to me. That was pretty good. I just used both of them.
Wow. I mean, if you really want to get into character, we need menthol cigarettes and Colt 45s for the next podcast.
Well, at least, and props to us.
I'm coughing already. Jesus.
We, except for Steve, AJ and I, we did not swear one Falcon time. 3 of them. I'm on a roll.
I do like.
Cut the audio.
I like the fact that you threw that in, but you totally cussed once.
I did not.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
When?
When we were talking about going to Galaxy's Edge and flying the Falcon drunk.
What did I say?
You're just gonna fly the stuff out of that thing.
Yep.
Oh, see, we both slipped.
AJ and I looked at each other and started laughing, but we weren't going to point it out.
See, you were rolling and you dropped an S-bomb, and I was rolling and I dropped an S-bomb. So
I think so. Maybe. I don't remember doing mine, but you don't remember doing yours either.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
We were in a haze.
Yeah.
So
we're in a drunken menthol cigarette haze.
Exactly.
Just like Han and Chewie.
Nice. Well, as usual, everybody, we want to thank Galactic Empire for the awesome theme music. Don't forget that they are on tour, so go check out their tour dates to see if they are coming to a city near you. We're going to go see them tomorrow, so I will be sporting some new Galactic Empire merch after tomorrow night, which will be very cool. As usual, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial of their service and a free audiobook download. You can find us at nerfherdercouncil.com. We have our Facebook page. Our Twitter handle is at NHC Podcast. Don't forget that we are on YouTube. You can find all of our episodes there. So go check us out and you can leave us a comment. Who is that one guy that he's very insightful he always laughs because he leaves these novel-sized comments, but they're actually very insightful.
Chris Carbine,
yes. We got to shout him out because, man, he leaves some long comments, but his thoughts are very well put together. So it's a very interesting read, even if they are lengthy. I really don't care about that, but Yeah, so
Insightful. What's he doing listening to us? then?
Right?
right.
I'm about to just copy and paste those straight onto our website and call it an article.
He'll be our blogger.
As here's our blog for the week.
So don't forget, we are on Google Play, we are on iTunes, we are on Apple Podcast, we are on Spreaker, we are on Stitcher. Are we on Podbean? That was a question posed to us via Twitter.
We are not yet on Podbean. I'm looking into it, but I'm really not clear on how to do it easily without. It's a bunch of technical stuff.
Okay, so not yet. Podbean, not yet.
Bunch of mumbo jumbo.
So if you would like to interact with the show, you can leave us a voicemail at 447-987-WARS. We'll play you on the show. You can email us feedback@nerfherdercouncil.com. So for my wonderful co-hosts, I am JT at Dog Pound Jedi. He is AJ.
At Drake Adams 579.
He is Steve.
At JSteve1005.
And we will catch you next time.
This bucket of bolts is never gonna get us past that blockade.
This bucket's got a few surprises left in her. Plus, me and Chewie are on it. Ain't that right, Chewie?
Hell yeah, you my nerf herder.
You my nerf herder.
On this episode of the Nerf Herder Council, we discuss all things Solo, Chewbacca's smoker's cough, Han Solo's drinking problem, and why there's no party plates on the Millennium Falcon. On this episode of the Nerf Herder Council, we discuss all things Solo, Chewbacca's stoma, Han Solo's... Oh my God. Oh.